We didn't have a field, we didn't have a locker room, we didn't have anything. The only thing we had on campus for 6 months of that first year was me, and that was the only evidence that there was football here at Monmouth.
To see where it started and to see where it's at today, it's really without words.
In 1977, Kevin Callahan began his coaching career as the fullbacks coach at the University at Albany. After stops at Syracuse, Wagner, and Colgate, Monmouth University offered Callahan his first head coaching job in 1992. The only catch was there was no football program at Monmouth yet.
First of all, it was an opportunity to be a head coach. But more importantly, it was an opportunity to start a program and to build the program the way that you wanted to, the way that you thought it should be built. The committee was hoping to bring in maybe 60 to 70 new male freshmen that wouldn't have otherwise come to the university. You know, and during the interview, I claimed I could bring in 100 without a doubt, and it would be easy to do. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be to do, but we brought in 104 freshmen that first year. If you wanted to play football and you could walk, hey, we were taking you if you would come here. And that's kind of how we started the program. We were selling the opportunity to play football, to do something that very few college athletes have the opportunity to do, which is to go someplace and start a football program.
Take this team, take the dream you have of playing the first game of Monmouth football, and put it into reality.
And it was always very important to me to not build it for today, but build it for the future, build it for many years down the road, make it something that would sustain itself over time.
Callahan brought in 104 players that first year to form Monmouth's inaugural team and set in motion his plan to build a lasting football program.
And in the very second year, we had a winning season, and in our fourth year, we won a conference championship.
He had a plan for what we wanted to do here. You could see the potential for growth over time, and he had a plan of how he wanted to do it, and I was going to be a part of that plan, which was great. I had a chance to come in and play a lot of football and help build it, and that was really enticing to me.
And build a program he did, step by step. After 17 years in the Northeast Conference, Monmouth moved to the Big South and finally to the CAA in 2022. With each step up in competition, the Hawks have been able to answer the challenge thanks to Callahan's vision for where the program can go and the lofty goals he is determined to reach.
You know, even in 1992, 1993, the vision was always to be a fully funded scholarship program in a major FCS conference. And that's a huge reason why he's done it for so long, is to see that dream and vision through.
We've been able to make the job better every 4 or 5 years. When we started, we were in the Northeast Conference in a non-scholarship role, then went to scholarship, then went to independent, joined the Big South. Now we're in the CAA, so we've been able to build and change the job every 4 or 5 years.
And then the CAA is a fully funded conference, and schools that have been playing football an awful long time and been playing at a high level for a long time. So yet again, it forced us to up our game in everything that we do.
In every step along the way, the success has followed for Callahan and the Hawks. Monmouth has captured 7 conference championships and reached the FCS playoffs 3 times. Over the past 30 years, as the game has changed and players and coaches have come and gone, Callahan's structure, big picture planning, and willingness to adapt and change has allowed Monmouth to excel every step of the way.
You want to have a disciplined team, you want to have a regimented team. There's got to be a sense of order in what you do, in everything that you do. And I think that starts with me as the head coach, and it has to trickle on down to the assistant coaches. I think if the coaches operate that way, then your team is going to operate that way.
I mean, he is the leader of our football program, plain and simple. He is the founder and the leader. He sets a course for where he wants this program to go. He defines the role of all of his coaches. He defines the role of all the players. He sets expectations for coaches and players, and he holds them to them. And that's really what he does phenomenal. He defines roles, he sets expectations, he puts people in places, and he lets them go to work.
And now, as the profession and the funding around the profession has progressed, is now he can step more into a CEO type role, you know, where he can really overlook the entire program on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to being super dialed in on one specific position group every single day. And I think that's really allowed him to think about what's best for Monmouth football and Monmouth athletics is what's the next step, what's the big vision, how can we get where we really want to go.
And now, after 30 years and 317 games, the Monmouth Hawks football program is exactly what Kevin Callahan wanted to shape the program into. A program built on hard work, integrity, and loyalty. A program that has accomplished goals, but has even bigger dreams to reach. Dreams that would not have been possible without the leadership of Coach Callahan.
I guess you always hear people say, well, my father always said this, right? Or my mother always said this. For me, it's more, my father always did this, you know, in terms of how you act a certain way, how you treat people, the way you go about yourself and yourself among others. That's been the biggest thing. And I think that's really who he is, right? It's not so much about the talk, it's about the action.
You know, Coach Cal is the same person he was when he recruited me in 1999. He's a great person. And so I think that doesn't change throughout, whether you're a 17-year-old or you're a 40-year-old with questions, you can go to him. He's there to help you. You know, it's a family type environment from him, his son, his family, my family. It's all involved here. So that's never changed, whether it was when I was playing or now coaching. That family side of it and that kind of relationship has never changed.
And I don't know if it's been done in college football, especially when you factor in a bunch of different things too, but the longevity, the success that we've had at every level, you know, from non-scholarship to partially scholarship in the NEC, to full scholarship in the Big South, and now in the CAA, to be at every step along the way, to have the success that we've had every step along the way, and again, to do it the right way while having that success, I really think it's unparalleled in college football.